Hey there, everyone. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about how to add a Twitter bot into your Discord server. Now, the primary reason I think you might want to do this, at least for my audience, would be to add in a channel or updates or notifications whenever this Twitter account tweets. IkaFeed is a Twitter account that kind of relays competitive Splatoon news all over the place, and it's an account that I run, so it'll retweet, tournament announcements here. Sometimes I'll post results of tournaments that have happened and things along that line. So in order to go about setting this up, we're going to go into Discord, and I already have the channel where I want this bot to end up, basically. So if I go in here and I go down to webhooks, I can go ahead and create a webhook, on the Discord side, and I can title it whatever I want, and I can also upload an image. So I can put in the IkaFeed logo. Now, the best way to go about doing this would probably just be to save the image from here. I can go and put it in my downloads, and I can say IkaFeed logo, and I can go back to Discord. You can't see this, but this little thing pops up, and so I'm going to click on my logo, and that way the logo will appear as expected. Now, the primary reason you want to do this first is because of this link. You're going to want to copy this for later, and I'll explain why in a moment. We can go ahead and save that for now, but it won't do much. Like, just doing that isn't going to do anything because you haven't actually told it to, do something yet. So what I'm going to end up doing, there are multiple different sites that can help you go about doing this, but one of which that is probably like the easiest to use, and by the easiest to use, I mean I pretty much just did it to test it, and it works well. So this IFTTT site. There are a couple of different, sites that can do this, but this is probably one of the easier ones. So we can go ahead, and I'm going to sign in, but you can also sign up. You can just use your Google account, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in my Google account information and click allow if it needs it. But otherwise, then it signs into their little portal here. So there's a bunch of different sites, or a bunch of different ways that you can use this site. It can execute a handful of actions, but I'm pretty much only going to use it for like one purpose, and you can see the test one that I already made. But we can go to new applet here, and this, if this, then that. Pretty simple, right? So let's say if this, let's define this as Twitter. And we have a couple of different options, but the one you're probably going to want is new tweet by a specific user. And so you can put in the username, which in this case might be IkaFeed, it might be something completely different, to create a trigger. You might need to authorize your Twitter account to that. I had to do that the first time that I tried. But you might not. I can't remember exactly, but pretty straightforward process there. And then you can click on then that, and what you're going to want to do is send this to a webhook. Make a web request. Now you're going to want to paste the URL that I mentioned earlier, or that I said copy earlier. So this URL, I'm going to go ahead and copy it for good measure again. We can just paste that here. And then we can change this to post and change this to application/JSON. And then what you're going to do is put in a little small bit of code here. And I'm actually going to cheat and pull up my other one. Pull up the other one, and I'm going to paste this code in here. So then I can say username as IkaFeed, and the content is defined as just the link to the tweet. That's kind of the way I have this set up right now. Personally, I think it's like the cleanest way, but there are a couple of other different things to do to customize that. For example, I might have closed out of the site, but the site, you can also add things like the text of the tweet, the maybe the embed stuff, but I was having a little bit of trouble really connecting to that. And you can also add the time that the tweet was made. But I like it just as this. There's a little bit of customization there that you can choose what you want to do. But in any event, you can go ahead and hit create action. Let it do its thing for a moment here. And then review and finish. If new tweet by specific, then make a web request, which is fine. You can rename this if you want. Send to notes Discord server in IkaFeed or something. I mean, you can change that whatever you want, but then you'll probably want to turn that off so you don't get notifications further. And then you can hit finish. And so this will go ahead and do its thing for you. And you should pretty much be set up and ready to go at this point. For an example, I was kind of testing this out earlier, like I said, to make sure that it worked. And I had another thing. So this is kind of effectively how it looks. You can ignore the logo because I didn't change the logo, but this is the username that I specified earlier in that little coding segment, and then it just links the tweet. And because of the way the Discord works, it'll go ahead and embed the tweet for you so you can see what the content of the tweet is. But you might find things like this where you'll probably want to click on it and then it'll show whatever the tweet is. I mean, so here there was a link after it. Well, I don't know what that link is. So you could click on that link if you really wanted to, or you could click on the tweet to begin with to see what it was there. So I hope that helped all of you that are kind of wondering how to further keep in touch with IkaFeed or further, find a different way of using IkaFeed on a daily basis. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I hope this helps. If you enjoyed it, feel free to share it with some of your friends or do it in your own Discord server. So yeah, hope it helps. I will try to keep IkaFeed as updated as possible, but of course right now it is a only one-man operation. So I will do my best in that regard, but I will not make a whole lot of promises. Anyway, I hope that helps. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and I will catch you all later.